guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're jumping in to the Vault Hunters SMP and, well, doing a little bit of a recap video. So I hope you guys are ready. Now, this may be a shock to a lot of you since the last time I posted a video of the VODs, it's been quite a while. Now, all of the stuff has been going on over on Twitch. I do live stream over on Twitch 4 days a week, and for the last 3 months, we have been playing on the Vault Hunters SMP server, and well, we've been getting our vault on, as you can see by my vault gear and all the stuff around me. If you haven't followed me already over there, it is twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect. And of course, you will be able to find me, not the day of this video going live, but I do live stream on Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays in the morning time, Central Standard Time. If you're interested in watching, I would love for you to join me. But if you haven't been able to watch or you're not watching, this is just a recap to kind of show you some of the cool things that we've actually done over the last 3 months. Now, I do want to take a moment and just have a seat inside of our house and talk about some of the things that I've done so far. So I am currently level 58 in Vault Hunters, and to explain how this works, currently in this particular season, a level 100 is the highest. Now, from level 90 to 100 should take you the same amount of time to get from that point to that point as it would for you to get from level 0 to 90. So that kind of puts in perspective how the scaling of the levels go. Currently, we're getting really close to hitting level 60. And so that's about how much time I've put into this. Statistically, I have put in a ton of hours into this. Not even hours, days. I have currently 16.73 days worth of time played. And that's very little AFK time, actually, that has taken place. So in that time span, we've done a ton of vaulting, and about 25% of my time I have spent building. And that's some of the cool things I would love to actually show you today, starting with, well, the house. The house that started it all, that is honestly still what I use to this day for everything. So the house is where we stay. I built all of this off to the side, including our iron golem farm, which is currently powering our base. But yes, this is still all modded Minecraft, and we'll talk about some of the modded stuff here in a little bit. But this was all my original farms and everything. This is our little blacksmithing area where I used to keep all of my gear. We used to use simple storage networks, but recently I have switched over to refined storage. But this is the inside of said lovely house. And yes, I'm still using you guys' artwork that you guys made, which all the fan art that was made during the Vault Hunters playthrough was fantastic. But yeah, I have a bear rug. Yep, this is exactly what you think it is. It is actually a piece of vault gear that is placed on an armor stand. And then we have this bear rug, which is from Alex's mobs. And you may be wondering about the doggos. Yes, the doggos and the spinning doggos. This is Coggers. I would love to introduce you to Coggers. Coggers is our lag detection doggo. Anytime Coggers stops spinning, we know the server is lagging. Yeah, which, you know, happens from time to time. But Coggers definitely tells me that. Then, of course, we have Boop. And if I take you upstairs, right here, past the poker table, and of course, past our dartboard and our television, well, we have Snooter, who loves to lay in the bed. Yeah, this is the upstairs bedroom. So I've tried my best to sort of decorate this the best I could. Even have a nice little bathroom inside of our nice little cottage here. Ignore this room. This is our snowman's hole, which we haven't really decorated yet. But this is our kitchen. And of course, this right here is sort of in the way. But this is normally what the kitchen looks like. There used to actually be completely surrounded. But at the moment, everything is sort of up and working. We have, of course, our elephant. We'll talk about this mod here in a second, which is fantastic. All of our little trinkets and stuff. Of course, we got our microwave oven. I put a lot of time into decorating, which I normally wouldn't do. But because of this mod pack, I really wanted to put a lot of effort into that. It includes the living room. Of course, we can sit down here. And I've tried to incorporate, of course, some things are a little random. But this right here is our transmog table where we can change the look of our armor. And there's some other things growing in here, but, you know, this is our TV. Of course, we have our bounty table. We'll talk about that in a second. But all of this leading out into the courtroom The house has been fantastic. It's been our place for storage. It's been really nice having this. Now, the next thing I have built over here, of course, is our bee area. And I am using supplementaries to actually get all the bees set up, other than this, which is all vanilla redstone, making all the honeycombs. And we need tons of resources because the crystals we craft to go into the vaults require vanilla-ish resources, right? And so we need a way to farm them. And so that is what I've done here. Now, if you see these signs, these are supporter signs. And people have supported me during the live stream via bits or gift subs. And their names, of course, get immortalized inside of almost every world. And I love to thank all of my supporters. And these signs are the way that I am doing that. So if you see all these signboards, that is what all of those names represent. And they're even dated, as you can see. This is from 12/1, so back in December, all the way back then. I think this goes back even further. As you can see, goes back to November. So yeah, that I just love saying thank you to all of my supporters. Now, leading over here, past our Iron Golem farm, I have built a little mini castle, and this is home to all of our pins. And you may be wondering, what are pins? Well, pins are like vanilla mob farms, right? They're like vanilla mob farms, except what you do is you pick up these, you take this jar and you right-click mobs with it, you pick them up, and then you place the jar into this pin, and you can feed the pin, and they will breed. And so you'll end up with a count of how many sheep are in there. And then once you're ready to kill the sheep, all you have to do is kill them. This mod has been fantastic and has been made specifically for Vault Hunters. It's actually a part of the Vault mod. Really, really cool. As you can see, I have this. They may be wondering, what are these? Well, I did go shiny hunting recently, and these are Quark shiny mobs. So this green pig is a Quark shiny. It's like 1 in 1,028 to find or breed. This cow we found out in the wild as well. And then this is the shiny chicken, which is just hilarious looking. Now, over here, ignoring the, well, the witch, which we'll talk about in a second. This over here was actually kind of where everything sort of started with our farms. So back here is a pretty simple, I would say, farm for getting moss. So this has actually been pretty simple. You turn it on, it farms the moss, pushes the blocks, and everything kind of goes. And just recently I decided to cover it up because it's been pretty ugly. But over here was all of our automated crop farms. Of course, things have kind of been moved over to other methods. We'll talk about that here. But yeah, I had villagers setting back here. All of this area cleared out for that. This is how we gathered tons of resources early on. All the crops needed for crystals and things like that. Now, I did have a building over here. I wish I could keep some of these things, but I had a building over here where I housed some mobs. But things have sort of changed as we've gone along. Over here, inside this, of course, is my villager trading hall, which is still in the works. And then, of course, we have our Cagerium, which is unlocked, which is granting tons of mob drops you can see here. And then, of course, our storage room, which is hooked into our refined storage network and is slowly filling up and is completely dark because I haven't finished this yet. There's a lot of major projects going on, and I'm slowly but surely working on them. Now, up here is probably one of the things I am most proud of, and this is our vault portal. Now, the vault portal, the way we get in is, of course, I click this, it shoots you in the air, you land here, you click here to open the portal ignites, and you go in. But I have also built a wall. If we take a look at the map, it is quite extensive what has gone on here. And so Zine is another player on here, and I built this tower for Zine to potentially use if he wanted to. I told him I was going to build a bell tower, and it's exactly that. It is a bell tower. When you go up here, of course, there's nothing inside just yet, but as you make your way up, there is a bell up here, and it will activate. So as soon as we get up here, the bell will clang on, and that's just one of the things. Just little details. Little details. The bell is nice and ringing. But this over here is another work in progress. Of course, when I was mentioning the storage area down below that I'm still working on, this is a part of that. So this castle, yeah, is definitely in the works. Now, of course, you may be wondering, Chosen, where's all of the mods? And you know what? They're actually hidden away. So let's take a look at those hidden mods. Right here, I have all the different places I can teleport to, set up in a nice little teleportation area. But the lab is my favorite. Welcome to Chosen's lab. Yes. This is my laboratory. It is based off of a Destiny 2 raid section. So this area is one of my favorite sections in the Destiny 2 raid, or one of the raids anyways. I wish I could make everything purple, but I went with the glass and of course added all of this. Now, what this is all thermal. So I have thermal power, everything's hidden behind the walls. I have all of my lava production that is in the walls. This is how I'm producing tons of lava. Over here are tons of resources being generated. You have this, which is receiving lava from half of this side, receiving lava, going into here, producing obsidian. This is also producing lava as well. And then I have this producing sand and flint and gravel, this one block. This is producing snow, producing ice, and this is duping amethyst for me. Now, over here, of course, these are just producing infinite amounts of 5 different types of resources, being basalt, blackstone, cobblestone, deep slate, and of course regular stone. So this is a fantastic little setup I have here. I am currently using my iron golem farm to send coins into this machine, the multi-servo press, which is making coins, and this is producing up to 640 RF per tick off of coins. Off of the iron from our iron farm, which just infinitely runs. It's fantastic power, and is completely powering our entire base as of right now. So yes, what mods do I have unlocked at this point? That's probably a good thing to kind of show. And currently, I have simple storage networks, of course, in the storage section, drawers, and refined storage. In the looting section, I have pouches, double pouches, and belts. In the power section, we have thermal dynamos, which is in combination with our thermal expansion. Now, under the handling, we of course has modular routers, which is fantastic, and then pipes, which I got to handle some of the items a little bit more effectively from thermal because it doesn't have a piping system just yet. Quality of life changes, of course, we have waystones, Torchmaster, and the vault compass, which is fantastic for helping you find your way out of the vaults. And then under big toys, of course, building gadgets, because how could I not have building gadgets? And then production, I first went with botany pots, and then now we've unlocked Cagerium. At this point, it is pretty expensive to unlock other mods from within their same section because it adds up to 12 points per mod add. So yes, mods are expensive to unlock, and you don't just get all of them right away in this pack. So if you're unfamiliar with this pack, that is how that works. Now, upstairs, if you're wondering how I'm routing everything, basically I'm filtering everything out with filtered link cables. So if I specify the filtered link cables, there's nowhere else for things to go. Just recently got myself storage drawers, so that all goes there. Overflow of gravel to keep my machine running and producing sand goes into this. And this is just a very simple solution to be able to provide myself tons of resources that I can use to make more and more vault crystals. Now, other methods, other means for vault crystals, well, that's where the botany pots come in handy. The botany pots I've had running over here. As you can see, we have tons of items that I've been generating from botany pots, and it's just all added up. And I think at this point, things are feeling pretty good. I currently have 3 of the artifacts, and these are going to be used apparently late game, similar to last season of Vault Hunters, if you're familiar with that. All of that has kind of, I think is going to end up being just about the same, other than maybe the end game is going to be a little bit different. Now, I did mention I was going to show you how that witch works and why I actually have that witch there. And that's because you can name a name tag anything you want that is related to a Minecraft username anyways. So, for example, my Minecraft username, ChosenArchitect. Is so long as it's a player and you want their head, for example, such as I have some heads in here, along with some entrails and some rotten flesh blocks. So long as you know their username, you can also get a head in this game. And this is actually a part of Quark. So if Quark's in, you can of course do this. What I need to do is just surround this real quick with some fences, and then do a few little changes here. I need to place down this guy, boop and boop, and then we'll name tag the snow golem, just like that, and then open the trap door, and it should, yeah, kill it. And once it kills it, well, we should get the head, as you can see right there. Look at that. And that's how you get some heads. Yep. Pretty cool. Now, I know that was an odd thing, but I did want to show that. Let's talk a little bit about vaults and how vaults actually feel at this point. So, I think it would be best at this level for you guys to kind of come along with me as we journey through a vault. Now, of course, it would be crazy of me to think that I could show you every little aspect of this mod pack and sum it up in one video. I'm going to try my best to kind of show some cool things. So, currently, we have bounties. Bounties are things that we can activate, and we can kind of go into the vault, and we have a challenge to complete that can pertain to inside the vault or outside the vault. And it's kind of like an extra reward. Now, inside the vault, you're really pushed to survive, not necessarily complete the objective. So, an objective happens when you walk into the vault. It'll either be kill the boss or kill the mobs, or it's going to be a scavenger vault. Now, both of those have their own perks. They have their own weaknesses and bonuses, but we'll talk about that here in a second, depending on which one we get. Currently, the kill the boss has been changed from what it used to be and is now like pillars, where when you right click the pillar, a bunch of mobs spawn and you have to kill those mobs, and they're a bit tougher mobs as well. Now, you notice I'm bringing in white wool. I'm bringing in some blocks. This has sort of been my setup. I have my vault compass, my gear. We have a magnet inside here, which has been recently changed. I am running a 50% max mana crystal. Mana, of course, is the bottom left, which allows us to use our skills inside the vault, such as healing and things like that. And then, of course, the pouches, which are sophisticated backpacks, but it is a special mod that is specifically made for this pack, which is kind of neat, actually, that Pepper went ahead and did all that. So, let's go ahead and activate. Now, this is just a level 58 crystal. As you can see, it has a blank objective, blank theme, blank layout. I have no idea what this crystal is going to hold. It can have all kinds of negative things, but this will be sort of a good example to show you kind of what a vault looks like at my level. Now, keep in mind, I am running sort of a damage plus build at the moment. And when I say damage plus, I mean damage is sort of increased. I'm running an increased % damage on my gear, which does help out a lot. As far as my stats go, my stats are looking quite nice, as you can see right here. Now, normally it's not laggy. You may notice some lag. There's a lot of people on right now. And you're going to notice one of the first modifiers right off the bat. We got wild, which is one set of mobs that spawn in. And what happens is right when you walk into the vault, you're going to end up getting attacked by a bunch of vault fighters, just like this. You notice I'm taking them out pretty quick. These guys aren't they aren't the most difficult thing to take on, but they definitely are annoying. So in my first room, I usually just place a marker so that way I know when I come back to this area to leave if I don't complete the scav, which is what is above me, up above in the top of my my HUD there. Yeah, if I don't complete that, I'll be heading back to that room, and I like to know which direction takes you back to the portal. So currently, this scav is, I would say, in my opinion, not the most doable because of drowned hide, but I'll explain. Each chest type that is associated next to the item tells me what chest I'm going to be looting. And so at the moment, I am looting what is called a wooden chest. Oh my gosh. And of course, all of this happens at once. This is an elite mob. This is it's pretty rare, but it gives you a lot of XP and can usually one-shot you. That was an elite drowned. That was a very odd thing to experience here. Okay. But yeah, that gives me a bit of experience towards the end of the vault. I was not expecting that. Now, yeah, back to scavs. So I'm currently breaking what is called wooden chests. And these wooden chests are going to contain some of those scav items. I have a bag that is containing some of the scav items. All these are scav related items. And it looks like I need zombie hides specifically from this. Now, the zombie hides, I need 10 of them. So I need to break a ton of wooden chests to be able to find 10 of those. And that's just how scavs work. And the same thing goes, we have ornate chests, we have gilded chests. Oh boy, these guys come at me. That was a jump scare. So we have ornate chests, gilded chests, as you can see. And then we also have coin piles as well. All of these things sort of add up. Now, I am talking right now. I'm not looting this the most efficiently. But I'm going to show you here in a minute. What just happened there was a trapped chest. It's like everything that could happen is happening right now. A trapped chest spawns more vault fighters in on you to, of course, take on. And they can be kind of scary, especially early on. Now, of course, I'm bringing this with a pick. This is actually one of the new updates, this particular pick. These right here are gilded. And these are called POIs, by the way, points of interest. And I'm using an ability called Ghost Walk right now to break the spawner. It doesn't freeze the mobs, but it makes me invisible. And so the mobs don't recognize me. Now, right here, some of these chests I can't break with my pick. So what I do is I open it up and I hold down Q and I do what's called queuing out. And I just queue it out and my magnet picks this all up. So all of this loot, I know it's zooming by pretty quick. All this stuff has a scav item associated to it when it is a scav vault like it is right now. So now, as I'm making it out of this first room, which you don't have to loot everything. I just sort of try to loot my best. Now, as I'm making it out, I do want to preface that sometimes I will take a look at the scav and I'm going, is this going to be doable? Because I do have to take some sort of risks. There's some win some and lose some with taking on this. Of course, if I do complete this, then I do win some. I do get a completion crate at the end. I get a little bit more XP for completing the vault. That, of course, contributes to your level. As you can see, I can vein mine these as well. It does contribute towards your level. But there's also like a lose in the same time because you're probably going to be looting less efficiently. You're going to be looting less chests that you probably would, you know, try to go after. And overall, you know, sometimes the loot is, will just be less, right? And you may not even be able to finish at the end. And so there's an innate risk there. Now, this is, by the way, a ore POI. So, of course, we need to get ore. And so, right here, I'm breaking a bunch of ore. Boop, just like that. These ore POIs are fantastic, by the way. Also, all my stuff is going into a bag, if you were wondering. So now, you may be wondering as well, what are the innate risks of running a vault? Well, here's the thing. This particular vault is not what is called afterlife. Afterlifing is where you put a particular item onto your crystal, and it makes it so where you get half the XP that you would normally get, and you can get some curses which add negative effects to the vault, such as like hunger, slowness, things like that. But if you die, you get your stuff back. Well, in this case, if I die in this vault, let's say my hearts go all the way down, I die, I lose my items. Well, not exactly. What happens is the ghost of my body ends up at my spawn location, which would be my bed. And then I have the option to buy back my items for an extensive amount of gold that is related to the quality of my items. So, for example, I have an Omega chest piece and I have an Omega piece of Omega leggings. Those are going to cost significantly more than my just regular epic piece or rare piece. All of it combined, including everything that's in my inventory and stuff, all of that gets combined and then gets added up to an amount of vault gold. Then I could technically recover my items, which is a little nice, you know, because before you wouldn't be able to do that, right? You would literally be stuck just trying to recoup all of your items that you just lost. And of course, you'd have to remake everything and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, that's the thing. But thankfully, now we have other options, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Now, of course, you can die in other ways. Dying via mobs hitting you it's not the only way you can die in a vault. You can also die to that little timer that you see in the bottom left. As soon as that depletes and I'm not out of the vault, well, you die that way too. So you are on a timer. So yeah, if you don't like time-based stuff, it takes a little bit of getting used to. I was not a big fan of playing games that had timers on them. But this has been a different experience. This has been a little bit different. Yeah, and as you can see, I do encounter some pretty dangerous situations here. And my hearts do go down. I do have a bonus on my hearts, which is a little helpful. And I do have a lot of modifiers. I would say that currently I probably have some of the best gear for my current level. As far as damage increase goes, and of course defense. I'm doing pretty good. So this armor setup may seem a little overkill to some. Like, it may seem like it looks easy. Like, this looks really easy, but I can tell you it's not easy getting into this. We are stuck on hard mode playing on the server. And so things are, yeah, it wasn't easy getting to this point. And I have died. I have actually died several times so far throughout my my streaming career playing this so far. It's been kind of fun though. It's been just, I mean, a whole lot of fun. All of this has been fun. Been a really cool experience as well, getting to meet tons of new people. So getting to do collabs with Iskal, Captain Sparkles, and H-Bomb, and Harry, and I mean, just all kinds of cool people. I've been doing a lot of collabs and vaults with False Symmetry and stuff like that. It's been an absolute blast so far. Of course, Pete, and then Kara, all of these guys that are on here. Absolute blast. I still haven't had a chance to do any vaults or anything with Stress. So yeah, I've done some with Captain Puffy and also done some with CPK. All awesome people. Initially even did some interesting stuff with Tubbo right off the bat. That was pretty interesting, even though Tubbo hasn't been playing for a little bit. But yeah, so far this experience has been really fun and it's been a blast to stream. So of course, if you would love to watch over on Twitch, be sure to check that out. Be sure to check that out. Twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect is where I do stream. By the way, a lot of times I do take a lot of fall damage, unnecessary fall damage. But I will show you this. Like, for example, if I want to get down here, I would usually just MLG bucket. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I have learned. MLG bucketing is definitely one of those things that has just been very interesting for me to do. Very interesting, because I was not used to doing any sort of PvP content or PvE content before this. And this has just been a blast. This has been a blast learning all this stuff. I just having an absolute blast. Now, I do want to go over some of the cool skills that I currently have at my disposal. Of course, Heal, which is the one that you just seen. Ghost Walk allows me to come in here and break this spawner real quick, and then, of course, kill off the rest of the guys. Of course, you did see Dash, which I just used a moment ago. Vein Mine, which I just used now, is another one. And then I do have Fear, which pushes the mobs. It gives a little bit of knockback and knock mobs off of stuff, which is really, really helpful. Let me think. I also have the ability to unfire myself. So if I'm on fire, I can defire myself, which is pretty handy. Some other skills that I have, of course, Dash is fantastic. Heal is probably my most used out of everything. Like, Heal just gets used all the time. And that's pretty much what I'm running at the moment. I'm kind of running like a running gun, like Ghost Walk. You know, if there's a spawner, I Ghost Walk it up and go from there. Of course, Dash, I have a lot of points into Dash, which is super helpful. As you can see, I'm critting. It's a lot better to sort of crit the mobs, so that way you do the most damage to them as you go through. I'm trying to... Some of these things are a little weird. We did get new magnets, so I'm still struggling with learning these new magnets. But yeah, Dash is really helpful. If you're in a situation like this, you're down here, I can just boop and pop myself out of a situation. Not necessarily fall like I just did, but in a normal situation, you would use it to just get out of an area. It's just pretty good. real good. Now I know early on a lot of people had some, I don't know, issues with how this was going, but I can tell you what, this has really turned around. I mean, it's got a lot of really cool mechanics, such as the pick, right? As you loot gilded chests, you get things that allow you to customize your pick to the way you want it. For example, this one can break all of these things due to these modifiers that I put on there. And this is a pick dedicated to being as fast as it possibly can, right? For breaking specifically wooden chests and things like that. So this pack has come a long ways, long ways. POIs are way more interesting than they were. There's just so much going on at like every turn. I mean, there's so much to see, so much to explore. There's omega rooms. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with catalysts. I mean, and it's been a fantastic journey so far, which has just been, you know, super fun. Now, of course, as my time goes down, of course, I would like to say, and of course, as we get to the end here, I do have 10 minutes left on the timer, which I would definitely loot all the way up until I have like 1 minute left. But in this case, I'm just kind of using this as a demonstration vault. But I would like to say that if you're interested in seeing more vaults, of course, you can follow me over on Twitch. I am live streaming this, and we do several vaults throughout the day, and it's an absolute blast, and I would love for you to join. I know I don't promote my Twitch as much as I should, but I'm promoting it here. So be sure to check that out. Of course, twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect, or you can find it linked down in the description below. Guys, I want to say I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out during the live streams if you are, and you're an active viewer. Thank you for checking out the second channel where all my VODs for this go, which is Chosen Live, by the way. Be sure to check that out as well. I mean, I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys for subscribing. Of course, I'll see you in the next vault. And as always, thanks for watching.